So many of my colleagues know that I constantly make the joke that the room is extremely hot because I am in there. However, with science, I can prove that this is actually true. Now, the scenario I will give towards the end of this video is going to be oversimplified so that the general public can understand, and I will avoid scientific terminology again so the general people of the internet can understand this. So many of us are familiar with the idea that there are cold blooded and warm blooded animals. Now, what this means is if you are cold blooded, you take in the temperature of your environment. So if you get too warm, you have to find a cooler spot in your environment to make yourself cooler. And if you want to increase your body temperature, you have to find a hotter spot in your environment to increase your temperature. But humans, we are warm blooded. What this means is our body must regulate itself to stay at a constant temperature. This means if the environment is too cold, we have to keep ourselves warm enough. And if the environment is too hot, like our fellow warm blooded animals, we must keep ourselves cool. So, like I said, the scenario I'm about to tell you is oversimplified. So, let's say two people are in a room and they've been in this room for an extended period of time, let's say an hour. What this means is their body has adjusted to not give off too much heat and not keep too much heat. What this means is their bodies are neither too hot nor too cold at that moment, just right, like the fairy tale says. Now, let's say a third person, like me, were to enter the room and we were way too hot, which I live in South Texas. That's usually what's happening. Well, like I said earlier, since I was in too hot of an environment and I'm warm blooded, my body has to figure out how to get rid of the excess heat and give off more heat so I can maintain that temperature and not get too hot. So, since I have entered the room and my body is still adjusting from the hot outdoors, my body has not reached a balance so that the room feels like the right temperature, like those other two. And so I'm still giving off excess heat. So now that means there is a new source of heat, and the heat in the room has increased. So essentially, the room has gotten hotter and gotten hot because of the fact that I walked in.